Last time we said, hey, there are like all these games you shouldn't play. And you were all like, but I wanna.
Today, we get your couple thoughts.
Hi, I'm Glenn.
I'm Cheryl.
And this is Your Couple Thoughts. Okay, so last time, what did we talk about last time on Couple Thoughts?
Hobbies within a hobby.
Yeah, so like...
It's like a dream within a dream.
Yeah, it's like... it's like an inception of games. We talked about games which themselves are so big or can become so big, they become kind of a hobby unto themselves.
Right.
And I was so excited that so many people had a lot of responses. And really, what was even cooler was there were so many responses that were like, Glenn, I think you're totally wrong. And I was like, awesome. And because, maybe that means I can play Netrunner. One of the first comments we got was from Farmer Lenny. And Farmer Lenny basically said, as a former CCGer, or collectible card game player, I also can't play Netrunner. And I asked him, what does that mean? And I said, why not? And he said, time and money. LCGs are less of a money sink than CCGs, but not much less. And moderation is hard.
Yeah.
Which I think I appreciated the affirmation from Farmer Lenny.
Yeah.
Because I think that is a lot of the crux of the difficulty for me, is that the moderation piece.
It's harder for some people than for others.
Are you saying me? Are you saying? I did. I really appreciated the affirmation because it is super hard. Moderation is. I'm totally a completionist, which maybe that can be a whole couple thoughts sometimes, is the idea of completionism. But I'm a total completionist. Yeah. Like I totally need, like if there's 15 expansions, I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to have to buy 14 by next week. And I'm totally that guy. So because, and especially expansions that have like meaningful things they add, if an expansion doesn't either add more of the same game experience or it doesn't add like new mechanics, like there can be an aspect where I won't.
Oh, for sure.
I don't need it. But especially when it comes to things that are collectible or customizable or add aspects like that.
Or exclusive.
Yeah, or exclusives. Then yes, I definitely have that aspect where I'm like, okay, well, I need to have it. So yeah. Within financial reason. I'm fairly good at as far as the finances go.
You are.
That's
why you just don't get into those games.
Yeah, it is why I don't.
Your moderation is to not participate in a lot of games that can become hobbies.
Right.
That's how you moderate it.
It's true. So the next one we got was from Hunter over at Weapons Grade Tabletop, which if you don't right now subscribe to Weapons Grade Tabletop, Hunter is a really cool guy, and he's got a lot of really fun videos. He's a bit... he runs the gamut as far as he does a lot of intro videos as well as like, are you interested in getting involved in gaming, to, kind of the new stuff that's coming out as well. So wherever you're at all over the map, make sure you subscribe to Weapons Grade Tabletop. He's a cool dude.
What did he say?
Well, he had a couple things that he said. He basically said that he is involved in several games.
Okay.
Effectively, he said he does, I think, okay, let me find the games that he said he was involved in. He said he does... I know he said he does X-Wing and Hero Clicks. He does Netrunner. He did... I feel like maybe he did a little bit of Magic the Gathering. And he basically said... he said he used to play Magic the Gathering. And that was one of his big points, was especially compared to some of the old Magic the Gathering stuff that he used to do, spending $15 a month here and there, or for something like X-Wing, paying for a couple ships for every wave isn't that big of a deal, because he feels like he still plays it enough to get the investment out of it. So effectively, he said, you make it what you want.
Right.
He said you don't let, in a sense, the game itself dictate what you're going to do or how you're going to play. But if you're playing with a bunch of friends, then you just make of it what you want. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
To some degree, aligns with what we said.
Yes.
So, I mean, basically, it's thinking about which games do you want to invest in,
Yep.
because you have people to play them with. You have they, are a reasonable amount of investment financially for you, whatever that means for you.
Right.
And it's something that you can maintain and feel comfortable with your level of performance in it and whatever. Like,
Right.
you pick the game or games that you can manage.
Right. You're setting your own goals.
Right.
So your goal for someone like him, he may not want to be the HeroClix champion of the universe.
Right.
And so if he's buying a few here and there in order to, hang out and play some with his friends, that's fine.
Right.
Right.
But being aware that like Netrunner is a game like that helps you make a decision of, do you want to enter into that or not?
Sure.
It could become a big investment in time and money and whatever. So with what you already have going on, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And for us, we don't know.
The next one I got was not written in any kind of comment form, but I received this especially in real life a few times, and it was effectively, really? It was basically just a lot of people were like, really? Really? You're going to tell me about games that are entire hobbies? Really? You who posted like 3 weeks or 4 weeks of X-Wing tournament videos. And not to mention, I mean, all the Lord of the Rings LCG stuff. I mean,
Right.
I think we had like 2 weeks of only posting about X-Wing and Lord of the Rings LCG.
Yeah. Which admittedly for us are our hobbies.
Right.
Within our hobby.
Yeah. Right. One of those comments I'm going to go ahead and just hold off for 1 second. But the other one I would say is, yeah. I mean, and I think Cheryl mentioned at the end of the video, there are totally some games where it warrants it, and I think if you're playing commensurate to your financial investment, like, it's fine as long as it's not sitting on the shelf. Like, if my X-Wing stuff, or for that matter, if the Lord of the Rings LCG stuff ever sits on the shelf for a period of time, like, it's going to be one of those things where we have to like consider it for sure. So,
Yeah.
But the other piece is going to go along with another comment that we received. We got a comment from Archetype 104,
Right.
and he had some really fun thoughts. He kind of was talking a lot about the cult of the new and the need to have new stuff. I pushed back a little bit, and then this is basically what he wrote back to me.
So he says on YouTube, I have a brother who has an insane MTG collection, and I enjoy dabbling, but do not have the funds or time to dedicate to playing it other than with his decks he brings over. It's hard because we probably play the most games when we are together, but I want to play something other than MTG, and he needs to play to play more because of his dedication to the hobby. I think that LCGs are a great middle ground for a competitive game, more accessible and don't have to worry about rarity. I'm standing on the ground that there is enough game in the base box that I could justify Netrunner if I had the right people to play with. First point of clarification. What is MTG?
Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
Yeah, you knew that.
I didn't know that was its acronym.
That it was the acronym, sure. But I think I had a real moment of clarity with this comment, because I think one of the things that he basically said was he would be willing to play something like Netrunner, and even just maybe play right out of the base box if he had the right group. And I think that is what a lot of those it sort of is sort of what you said last time, where you said, we get a lot of enjoyment out of playing a lot of Lord of the Rings LCG. I enjoy playing X-Wing, and I would even say I got into X-Wing to play with a few people in particular, and was really hoping to kind of be able to dig into that a little bit more. And I ended up moving away, so I didn't get to play with those people nearly as much as I had planned. But even now, it's become one of those things where me and my friend Max, who we post videos of sometimes, it's become this thing that he and I get to do together, and it's an excuse for both of us to hang out. And we really just get a lot of enjoyment, both out of the game experience and the, excuse to hang out with each other by going to all these tournaments and just generally playing a game.
Yeah.
So I think like gaming in general, it can be an opportunity to be social with each other, as well as with something like a game that has some size to it. And and grows and has these kind of aspects to it where they themselves can be their own thing, I think that for something like this, your relationship can grow as well, and or even better, as your relationship grows or as the game grows, your relationship grows along with it.
Right.
So it kind of becomes this almost like the soundtrack to what you have going on in your life.
Yeah. You still want to get into like 15 of those kinds of things, probably.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
So we really loved getting to read through and participate in this discussion. It was super fun for us, and we hope that it was fun for you guys too. And we look forward to doing a lot more of these in the future.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we are thinking about one that we want to do next too.
I think our next one is going to be about the idea of competition. Obviously, how that affects a couple. Like, so if you have a game that's competitive, how does that work as you guys are duking it out between each other? And if you're not a couple, or if you're just a person who maybe you go to tournaments, or maybe if you just play with a group of friends, what is that experience like? What is it like to lose or to compete or to, have that
or to
desire to win? Yeah, absolutely. And what's that like? So competition.
Yeah.
Is that what we're going to call it? I don't know if that's what we're going to call it, but it'll be something
about
cool.
That.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We hope to see you next time. In the meantime, keep playing awesome games.
Later.